Let's get to some of the news here. We all know that there is a live-action Star Wars movie coming. We know this. It's coming. It's on the way. All that kind of good stuff. But we haven't known much about it. Now we do know a few more things, according to several reports in the New York Times and elsewhere. Now, we've known that Jon Favreau, of course, the guy behind Iron Man 2, and The Jungle Book, and the new Lion King movie that's coming out, he's writing and producing this new series. It's going to be a 10-episode series. But what we have just learned is that this is going to be one of the most expensive television shows ever made. According to the New York Times, they're saying that this new series, this 10-episode series, is going to cost $100 million to make, making it one of the most expensive television shows in history. Elsewhere also, there are reports that the crux of this show will take place after the events of Return of the Jedi and will take place on Mandalore. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Star Wars lore, Mandalore, well, that's the place where the Boba Fett armor comes from. We got into Mandalore and the Mandalorians a little bit more in Star Wars Rebels and things like that. We've gone a little bit further into the lore there. The reports are saying that the show will take place on Mandalore several years after the events of Return of the Jedi, and it's going to be with Mandalore now kind of struggling to figure out its place in the universe at that point. So there's obviously going to be a lot of internal drama, some Game of Thrones stuff going on there. So that sounds intriguing. So this could be terrible, but it looks like Disney is putting a big budget behind it. You've got a filmmaker like Jon Favreau writing it and producing it. A lot of people are going to be very excited to hear if the reports are true. And let's emphasize that. If the reports are true, a lot of people are going to be very excited that it's going to be taking place on Mandalore. And somebody like me, I'm very excited about the time period. I'd love to see some of the things that happen immediately after things. Now, again, I'm not big on moving backwards in storytelling, but these are completely new sets of characters, telling a completely new story. So for me, even though it's taking place just after Return of the Jedi, it's not a story being told backwards because this is a completely new story. It's completely new characters. Because of that, I'm excited about it. Let's see how true these reports end up being. But I got to tell you, what I'm hearing from these right now, this is all good news. It doesn't mean the show will be any good, but right now it's at least pretty good news. All right, let's move on.